Hi, my name's Sam, and today I'll be talking about sampling in research. So, when you decide to do research, you have to ask a question, and depending on who you ask that question, you're going to get a different answer. Who you choose to ask is called sampling. Unfortunately, when asking a research question, it's impossible to account for every single opinion and every single answer that could be out there. And so the selected amount of people that you choose to ask your question to from a population is called a sample. Depending on who you want to represent in a large population, you will draw up your research method to describe that certain amount of population. That could be a certain age range, a certain ethnicity, or a certain group of people that may all have one thing in common with a trait or a characteristic. Ideally, you want the sample to be representative of the population that you are researching. There are many ways to pick out a sample of people. A simple random sample is a type of probability sample. And this is where it is equally likely that all different types of representations are equally accounted for and can be chosen. So there is an equal chance of getting every different type of person. Now that you know who you want to ask the question, how many people do you want to ask? This is the question of sample size, or the amount of individuals that you will be researching in order to find the answer to your research question. Typically, the larger amount of sample size you have, the better, as you're accounting for more opinions and there is less bias. Unfortunately, unless you ask every single person in the population and every single one of them in the population responds, there is no way that your sample will be a perfect mirror of the population to represent it. This is because of sample error. Sample error is when it starts to deviate or drift away from the population that you're trying to represent. And when you're choosing your sample, you need to keep sampling error in mind. I hope this was helpful in giving you a brief introduction to sampling. Thank you for listening to my presentation.